Welcome to the NFL. You don't have your full allotment of guys? Hey, the Bucs don't have their O-line. You've never heard me say on this show, in 5 years, you've never heard me go, well, they didn't have everybody, and that's why you beat them. You've never heard me say that because that's part of the NFL. Week 4 National Football League starts tonight. Appreciate all coming aboard. Thank you. Seattle and Arizona tonight. Two teams 2-1, both quarterbacks playing good football. Who would have thought the reclamation project of Sam Darnold would carry over from Minnesota to Seattle? That's a good football team. Kyler Murray's playing exceptional football right now. He is. I don't care what you think of him. I don't care if you're out on him. He's playing really good football these first 3 games. What does that mean? We're still in September, which means it's a liar's month. Okay? It's a liar's month. But both those quarterbacks are playing pretty good ball. If you look at the PFF rankings, if you go there, they're some of the highest rated quarterbacks in pro football right now, Kyler Murray. And I think Darnold's number 1. So you look at both those guys, I mean, 2 teams 2-1. Somebody will be disappointed tonight. But I think it's going to be a pretty good football game. That's in Glendale. And that starts week 4 of the NFL, college football this weekend. And, of course, I think the game of the weekend, and this is going to be the Buccaneers and the Eagles. Tom Brady's in the house. So you're going to have TB12 calling the game on Sunday. By the way, Super Chats, go to the top. Please hit the like button here. So this is going to be a football game. And I had Gary Cobb on the morning show in Tampa today, and he's with me on it. Right now, at the end of the day, I'm going to look at it and go like this. I really don't know what I'm going to see in this Sunday game because of the injuries and the inconsistency we're seeing in play from the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the Eagles are starting to mount up some injuries themselves. So, again, I'm leaning Philly. But this notion about you getting down there, here, I'm going to tell you the secret to getting and playing in the heat. They should have waited until later in the day on Saturday to fly down and save up as much of your energy as you possibly can. The more you're in that early, the more energy you're going to dehydrate more if you're not ready to play on Sunday. The Bears used to come down to Tampa back in the day when they had that great team. They would come down on a Saturday afternoon because they knew the heat in Tampa was going to be excessive. And they would play and they would have their energy for Sunday. They didn't come down 2 days earlier. They knew better. And we were in the same division at the same time, the NFC Central Division. So, I mean, that notion, you kind of telegraphed once again that the heat's going to be an issue for you. Okay? Well, I think you unzip your fly there a little bit with that. Do me a favor, please. Hit the like button. Super Chats go to the top. Okay. How many people think that Howie Roseman, as we said this all offseason, had a great offseason when it came to adding personnel to the team, excluding the draft? What would your grade be on him adding to the team to replace players that helped you win a Super Bowl and get to be the number 1 ranked defense? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, and how do you think his grade? Mikey, F, okay? Here, look at this. B plus. In what aspect? B plus in you adding except the draft. A plus. Look at these guys. Okay? So let's stay here. Hold on. Let's go with Ed Reyes. A, he's still making moves, balancing the existing and future contracts. Okay? So Oren Burks right now is the number 2 rated linebacker against the rush in the National Football League. And he is right now ranked ahead of Fred Warner. Isaiah Rodgers just won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. And now you have Bryce Huff ranked the 7th best pass rushing edge rusher in pro football. What did you add again? Help me out on this. What did you add? I'll repeat it. Oren Burks is the 2nd graded run-stopping defensive linebacker in pro football. Isaiah Rodgers was just named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And now you have Bryce Huff ranked the 7th best pass rusher in pro football. You're struggling at edge, you're struggling at one corner, and you're struggling against the run. Where did he add? Help me out here. That helped improve the football team, excluding the draft. Bennett is on IR. Where? Where did he help? Where did he? Yeah. Well, guess what, RC3? You're the only person in here because if you talk to the players, they'll tell you that so RC3 is telling you at 3-0, the players aren't telling you that they're struggling. Well, we're going to get to that here in a minute because AJ disagrees with RC3. Bro, when you argue and say things like that, you're arguing against the players making those comments, not me. You're making those comments against what the players are saying. I mean, you can sit here and make that comment at me, but the players don't agree with you. So get this. If A.J. Brown was sitting here, RG3 would be contradicting A.J. Brown with the comments that he made yesterday. What a buffoon. Bro. Okay? He's an outlier? What about Isaiah Rodgers? You think he's an outlier? Is Isaiah Rodgers an outlier? He just was named the Defensive Player of the Week. Or is, who else? Oren Burks being a 2nd-rated linebacker against the run. Is that an outlier too? Well, shit, I got 3 outliers. They both played on your football team. They're outliers too. Again, stupid takes, as usual, to start the program off with him. Sills, you preach how this is a liar's month, but you bring up all these stats, they're trends and rankings of players. Let's see how they are doing halfway through the season. Gabe, does that also include Jordan Davis? Gabe, does that include Jordan Davis? Xander just gave me some great stats about Jordan Davis. Well, if I'm going to bring these guys and these players' names up, that also includes Jordan Davis. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good. And to M. Reyes' point, saying that he's still evolving the roster with what? Spare parts? The Joshua Uches of the world? Dude, your defense is getting killed on the run. You're 24th. I mean, where are we going here? You're 24th, excuse me, in ranking, and you're ranked 24th in total defense. How are you playing well? Who's saying that? The reason that other teams are still in ball games with you is because you're not playing well in 2 areas, defense and the run game. How in the world? Look, I'm the same way on the Bucs here. I don't buy that 3-0 record. I don't know how good they are. Hey, I'm not making a point here to go, well, the Eagles are 3-0. You do get the benefit of the doubt. Did you not hear me earlier say that the Eagles, I still think, are number 1? I still think they're number 1. I didn't say you weren't. What's your problem with going over and us looking at what's happened in the first 12 quarters? Again, like I said, guys, if you don't want to sit here and talk about the first 12 quarters of the season, this ain't for you. This is not a glazed donut show. It's not. I mean, Maybe the case is our schedule. Listen, I buy the teams that you've played more than the teams that the Bucs have played. I completely go down that lane. You played a team that was in the Super Bowl, and you're also playing against a team that I consider one of the better teams in the NFL, the Rams. So I completely do. Theory of mine, did they hire Kellen last season for Patullo? We know Kellen for being a pocket passer OC. Jalen works in an RPO and up-tempo, so why Kellen? I think Kellen Moore had to do something to save his career, and that was to go to the run game. And that was a decision by him and the staff to go to the run game. Unfortunately, you don't have the run game. Okay, here, check this out. Seals, you keep saying the defense is ass. I didn't say that on the running game. But the Lions ran on the Ravens. I'm not talking about the fucking Ravens. Dude, I'm talking about the defending champions. I'm not talking about the Ravens. What's the point? What does the Ravens defense have to do with you and your play? Get to see this here? What does that have to do with you? What in the world does that have to do with you and your defense? Zero. Ravens have their own issues. Seriously, and it is on defense. He's not wrong about that. Absolutely true. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button here. And I'm going to ask this question one more time here. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. You think there's a problem? A communication problem? How about this? Do you think that there is a professional conflict between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown? Yes or no? You think there's a problem between the men? Let me go back here because I want to go to this. I'm going to go to this number here and make sure that I get this exactly right because I don't want to misquote anybody here on this. Okay? Dominique says no. Of course, M. Reyes thinks everything is perfect in fucking Eagleville. Even Yale says yes. Here's a trend the Bucs have done to us last two games. They put up 70 combined points. Hey, you know what? Every time I heard John McMullen go like this today. Hey, we have our guys against the Bucs. Welcome to the fucking NFL, John. It's an excuse. Okay? That's an excuse. You're 1-4 versus them. And if you're not healthy, that's not a Buck issue. That's an Eagle issue. Well, they beat us with less guys. Well, then guess what? That's a you issue. I say that to everybody, no matter what team it is. This is how you win football games. This is how you win championships. Welcome to the NFL. You don't have your full allotment of guys? Hey, the Bucs don't have their O-line. You think that I'm going to use that as an excuse? You've never heard me say on this show, in 5 years, you've never heard me go, well, they didn't have everybody. And that's why you beat them. You've never heard me say that. Because that's part of the NFL. Anybody who says that doesn't really quite get the league. Injuries are not, you can't, hey, Cincinnati has to figure out how to win games with Jake Browning. That's why the league is made this way. That's why there's not 100 guys on a roster and Chip Kelly's not coaching in the NFL. It's by design. It's part of it. Hey, we lost our wideout. Well, welcome to the NFL. The Bucs lost Mike Evans. So you think that I'm going to blame the Eagles for beating or give an excuse that the Eagles beat the Bucs because they didn't have Mike Evans? Absolutely not. That's part of it. I mean, that's part of the whole thing here, man. All right, here's where I'm going to go with AJ. Hurts a company man. Company man hurts. Okay? And guess what? I'm not sure Jalen's wrong because he's had it convinced to him that you're 19-1 playing the way that they play. Here's the quote from AJ. It took too long as an offense for us to adjust. Well, who do you think he's taking a shot at? He's not taking a shot at Jalen Hurts. He's taking a shot at Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. AJ spoke about the need to shift when teams take away Barkley and be attackers on Sunday against the Bucs. Do you know what he just did? He called the Eagle coaching staff soft and not aggressive. He said the mentality right there, he called them soft. You're not going to be an attacker. There's only one other thing you are. You're passive. They're passive. And you know what Hurts did? Hurts did the right thing. Well, we're 19-1 this way. M. Reyes posted something that was pretty crazy yesterday. And get this, it goes to my take. He posted all these great things about Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Hey, go ahead and repost it. I'll post it again. They don't trust Hurts. I think Musmeyer was a loss. Again, continuity. Great take, Kim. Great take. I think Musmeyer was a loss. M. Reyes, put up those stats again in the pocket of your boy Jalen Hurts. They don't trust Hurts. There's no other excuse. The coaches are too conservative. They don't adjust in game. It takes them too long. And they don't trust the quarterback. What else could it be? Well, what else could that be? Here. Thanks, Emrys. Okay, well, Hurts in 2024. Now, this is low volume. To be in context, he's second in the NFL, second in passing. He's fourth in rating. Well, what's the problem? And then you have the A.J. Brown going like this. We don't adjust quick enough. Well, either they're incompetent coaches or they don't trust the quarterback. Which is it? If Hurts has these numbers, and I'm not disputing M. Reyes here on this. Get this. Are those fake facts? You really think M. Reyes is going to post fake facts here on his boy? If those numbers are true, and I believe they are, what's the problem? Either you have incompetent coaching or they don't trust the quarterback. Pick one. Which is it? I'm with Kim. I don't think they trust the quarterback. How could they? Low volume? When he has to throw, he's good? I think this is the ass that Jalen has all the time. I don't think he thinks Nick's a very good offensive-minded coach. It's something. A.J. Brown says they don't adjust quick enough. That they don't adjust quick enough. Do you find that to be a problem? Get this. I don't have to make calls on Sunday. Says you don't trust Hurts. Good question. I do. I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL. I trust the guy. I don't think he's as skillful as a lot of guys, but you don't have to be the best and most skilled guy to win. I think you got to be the smartest guy to win. And I think he's one of. I do. Let's see here. Yeah, if those numbers are right, it's coaching malpractice. The scheme opens up versus the Bucs. Yeah, you're gambling on it? Go ahead. Good luck to you. After what I heard Hurts say in the press conference, they're going back to the same thing they did in the first half against the Rams. If you think they're going to change their scheme, you're out of your fucking minds. They're not going to change the scheme. No way. Why would they? They're 19-1. And until they get beat, they're not doing it. You know the only reason they went to Barkley last year? Because they were 2-2. They're 3-0. They're not changing anything. Why would they? Every time you guys post 3-0, you validate what they're doing. You know that? So why would you change? Every one of you that posts 3-0, okay? Every one of you, you validate them in their approach. See this here? These guys here? They're telling you they're not going to change. I happen to agree with these guys. Benny, 3-0. He's right. Steve, 3-0. They're not throwing the ball in this game. They're not. They didn't do it last year when they won the Super Bowl. You see this take here? Hurts knows they don't trust him with the straitjacket quote. I believe AJ wants to go off script with Jalen to be more aggressive, but Hurts won't. That's it right there, Mikey. We should have done this, and I forgot to do it, but the take of the day right now is Mikey. That's the take of the day so far. Here it is. Hurts knows they don't trust him with the straitjacket comment. I believe AJ wants to go off script with Hurts, which means audibles, and be more aggressive, but Hurts won't. Absolutely true. It's a great take, Mikey. No doubt about it. They're not changing. They're not. Dude, you're not showing anything? What are you some sort of complex offense? This guy makes it sound like he runs a John Gruden playbook. Are you crazy? You've got 7 pass plays and about 14 run plays. Don't make yourself smarter than you're not. Seals, with those numbers, the staff should be increasing the attempts without gently deflating the game plan. So they find out if Hurts numbers fall off. Listen, I'm going to say again to you, Bob, they're not going to deviate off their game plan. Okay? Bro, what are you talking about? So dumb. Man, are you bad? I guess what would make sense if Hurts didn't go to the sideline to let Patullo know that we've got to do something different in the game. I believe my eyes over words. Absolutely true. You totally saw this. Here, look at this here too going into the game. Bond knee, Campbell tricep, Adoree Jackson groin are out here warming up with their helmets on. All 3 did not practice on Wednesday. Do you like this update? Yes, no, I don't. Thank you for the update, though, but no, I don't. Okay? All matters Dan, you have the best show anywhere. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Really mean that. Thank you, William, and I thank you for coming here. And thank you for the super. We appreciate it very much. This dude wants a depressed fan. Hey, Benny, sit the fuck down and shut up. Bills can't get to the Super Bowl. They show everything in the regular season. The reason they have to show everything because they have nothing. That's how they win games, dude. You're making it sound like they have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Jordan Mailata and Dallas Goedert and all those guys sitting on the football team. They don't have that. I mean, seriously, you make it sound like they have a shitload of players up there. Why aren't our OCs creative? Because Nick told them not to be. Because Nick told them not to be. I don't get it. Hurts won us a Super Bowl and they don't trust Hurts? Well, you figure it out then. Why aren't they throwing the ball? You're not running the ball well. Why was the game plan? Thank you. Appreciate that. Believe me. By the way, it's nothing depressing. You're winning football games because of Jalen Hurts. Plain and simple. Have you ever heard me say that? You've won 3 straight ball games this year because of Jalen Hurts and how smart he is. He's the smartest kid in the game at that position. I mean, hey, you know why both teams are 3-0? Mayfield hasn't turned the ball over, and Hurts, outside of that fumble, him getting annihilated because Barkley missed that block. That fumble, he has no turnovers outside of that play that Barkley forced that. That was Barkley's fumble. Got the quarterback annihilated because he missed the block. Hey, by the way, JoJo, this is not about me. Shut the fuck up. Let's see here. Xander, I missed Josh Herman's super chat there. So, Sills, if the winning stops, is there going to blow up if Hurts is a company man? No, I think what will happen is they'll do what they did a year ago, and they'll start throwing it more. If they, you know what's almost, dude, I'm not going to say this because I think losing blows. It's almost like the best thing could happen, Josh, is if they lost because it would force them into it. Hey, Josh, do you not agree? Last year's 2-2 record forced them into running the ball. They didn't want to do that. That's not what the team is built for. They're spending $150 million on 3 players. They didn't want to run the ball last year. They wanted to throw it. Sills, now I know why Hurts was benched at Bama. The idiot in New York was his coordinator that year. Brian Dable was Jalen Hurts' coordinator. Wow. Do you think they'll move Bond down? No, I do not. I'm not moving. You know what Bond is right now? Bond's one of the worst run defenders at linebacker in the league right now. Do you know that? What do you make of that? He's one of the worst run defenders in the league. What do you make of that? What do you guys make of that? I keep hearing his defense is playing great. Right now, so far, Zach Bond's one of the worst tackling linebackers against the run in the league. What do you make of that? No, nothing? Okay. Big Sills, when are people going to stop acting like Aziz Ojbo, our edges group is trash? Listen, our edges group as a group are trash. Well, I tell you what, Joshua Uche and Aziz Ojolari, we'll find out. Carter's not informed. That's why, Sills. Okay, so he's out of shape. Okay, so Jalen Carter coming into a contract extension here came into this year out of shape. Okay, now listen here. I'm starting to buy this a little bit. Okay, what's his ranking overall? Like, was he 45? Here, let me give you guys the numbers here on the defense. Let me go here. Here, let me go here again. I've got the NFL numbers here on the Eagle defense right here. Just got NFLPA just sent me this right now. Eagles are 18th in total defense. Pass defense, the Eagles are 11th. Rush defense, the Eagles are 24th. Okay. You're 24th against the run. You're 24th against the run. Who's playing well? 18th overall when you were number 1 a year ago. You fell 17 spots so far. And that's going to turn around with no Nolan. A weak corner. Suspect at safety. And linebackers who are not performing against the run like they did a year ago. Now, this is true. It's September. It's a liar's month. I mean, the defense, you know what they're here? I'll show you what they're great at. And here's Vic right here. Eagles are 7th in red zone, scoring opportunities. 3rd down. Here's something else that you have to keep an eye on 3rd down. Listen to this. The Eagles on 3rd down are 21st. You're 21st on 3rd down. Why? Because teams are running the ball on you. You can't get off the field. There's 3rd downs. You're at the bottom end of the league at 3rd down defense. Teams are running the ball on you. They don't have to throw the ball on you. How many rushing attempts, by the way, did the Rams have last week? Somebody, hey, do me a favor, Kyle. Tell me how many rushing attempts I bet you this. Taken away from Hurts, I guarantee you the Rams had more rushing attempts a week ago than the Eagles did. And the Eagles last year were averaging what, 35, 36 yards a game? I guarantee you the Rams had more rushing attempts with their running backs than what the Eagles did. And if it went, once again, if it wasn't for Hurts making spectacular defense or offensive-minded plays out there, you're not winning. Hey, Greg, I am not a Buccaneer fan. I am no fan to any team. None. I don't root for a team. I root for the NFL. I love the NFL. The Rams ran the ball 31 times. Hey, Abe, how many times did the Eagles run, not with Jalen Hurts, but with Saquon Barkley? 14 times? 31 times they ran. Absolutely. Okay? No, they're called trends. Stats to nerds like you. Trends to me and former players. 31 attempts for the Rams. 27 Eagles, but 9 was Hurts, so 18. So the Rams, a passing team. Sean McVay's a passing coordinator, right? Ran the ball 31 times. Okay. Why do you think that is? Because they were getting success against it. They didn't have to throw the ball. Patullo's run, well, hey, Ike, here. Then why are your players complaining? Ike, why are your players complaining? Then why are your players complaining? Why are your coordinators complaining? Why is your head coach complaining? They're nitpicking too then. Right? AJ's complaining because he wants stats. No way. AJ's complaining because he thinks he can win football games his way. It's nothing to do with that. I believe that guy wants to win the game his way. I believe Barkley wants to win his way. Guy, every time you address me and talking about what we're talking about, it's not a conversation. I have nothing to do with Sunday's game. So when you bring me into it, it's totally irrelevant of a conversation. Do you understand? I have nothing to do with the game on Sunday. Nothing. I have nothing to do with the game on Sunday. Nothing. We're talking about what the players are talking about and the coaches are talking about, not what you're talking about. Okay? All right. So just because Stafford injury contributed to 31 rushing attempts. Yeah, the back probably did. It did, but they were effective also. Okay? Okay, not bad. I'm sorry for clicking on, folks. I didn't mean to bore you with his takes. Still saying that with his Bucs pick over his shoulder. Get this, folks. I was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into the National Football League, and I went into the NFL because I was drafted by that team, and the helmets that I have behind me are the only ones that I've ever played with in teams. The jerseys, one of them is my mentor and Leroy Selman, and the other is another one, my uncle Andy Robustelli. It's my Canes jersey, and Vince Papali gave me that helmet at an Army-Navy game. And there's a player I played with in Jerome Brown. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Good to listen to your Tampa show today. Enjoyed you. And G. Cobb, thank you very much. G. Cobb said the same thing today. You know, this game's going to be close. If Hurts opens his mouth more vocally, the front office will let him know he's replaceable. It has nothing to do with his talent. It's control. Hey, Kim, if they can replace Doug Peterson, they can replace Jalen Hurts. Everybody knows that in the locker room. Okay? I do. Sills, again, anything to do with the game, we'll sit here and talk. Anything to do with me, I have no interest. I think this is a good football game, man. I really do. I think this is a good football game. I really love A.J. Brown now. A.J.'s taking shots at your coordinator. What do you make of that? I don't mind that. Just had Todd Bowles on the show. Pick the Bucs to win. I had RC3 on your show, not the Tampa show, because you're playing them. Bro, I didn't pick the Bucs to win the Super Bowl. How do the Bucs win without wide receivers? Baker finally getting a taste of how he did it a year ago and threw for 41 touchdowns. Mike Evans missed 5 ball games last year, and he still threw for 41 TDs. How did he do that without Mike Evans and Godwin? He lost Godwin against the Ravens, and he lost Mike Evans for 5 games. He still threw for 41 TDs and 4,500 yards. How did he do that? I mean, how did that happen? I'll tell you what here, dude. I've been right on everything I've said so far this season. And September's a liar's month. We'll see. Once again, Spike, stay focused, guy. There's a game Sunday. Don't worry about me. I know you've got this fantasy about me, but hang in there. We'll talk about the game on Sunday. Baker or Hurts, who do you take? I really like Baker Mayfield, but I wouldn't take Baker over Hurts. I mean, I think Baker's got a good football team too when healthy. Godeke at right tackle, Wirfs at left. Cody Mock, when they're in there, he's out now for the year. Grant Barton's going to be one of the tops. I think Grant Barton's a better center right now than Cam Jurgens. But he's playing left tackle because they have to. So my point being is that he's got players. He's got this kid, Emeka Buka. So the talent level's pretty good. You've got this kid, Bucky Irvin. They're good. They're not level of play of the Eagle talent, but you can't say that Baker Mayfield doesn't have talent. So that conversation, well, Hurts has more talent. Well, not by a lot. So I think Jalen's just smarter. I think the only reason that Baker Mayfield is 3-0 is because he hasn't turned the ball over. But Baker's playing some of the best ball of anybody in the first 12 quarters of the year. He is. He's in the MVP conversation. I saw somebody send me something in the latest with the MVP voting. And here's the latest with the NFL Players Association. Right now, Justin Herbert's number 1. Josh Allen's 2. Jones is 3. Mayfield 4. Jonathan Taylor 5. Jordan Love 6. Myles Garrett 7. Drake May 8. Puka Nacua 9. And Caleb Williams 10. I don't buy any of that. That wouldn't be my list. I think all those guys are playing great out of the gate, though. Okay, I do. Okay, and I'm with you. I'm completely with you. I got more question marks on that than I do the Eagles, who they've played. I have no question on who the Eagles played. This is my big thing rolling into this game. Jets, Texans, and Falcons. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a gauntlet of teams. They got a gauntlet of teams coming up after this. Which, by the way, Mike Evans is going to miss the majority of those. And this is the deal why you take Hurts over Mayfield. Is because, yes, last week was a great example of it. The game in Kansas City was another example of it. Absolutely. I'm not dismissing that. Okay? Yeah, and I said that game would be close because of all the losses in the offensive line. I mean, yeah, but again, your game was close against the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys are shit. They got crushed by the Bears. I mean, the Cowboys went up and down the field. They had no problem moving the sticks against you. Dak Prescott was moving the ball at will. The defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys stuffed you guys in the first game. So, I mean, they shut down Bijan. They did. That's when they had Elijah Cansey, too. But they don't have him now. There are 3 techniques out for the year. It's a big loss. What did I see? Todd Bowles is a bigger problem. Our coaching staff is not that good. It's a great take. I don't think it's not that good, JoJo. I think it's inexperienced. Here, guys, when A.J. Brown says we're not adjusting quick enough, what does that tell you? That the coordinator, my question is, what's Nick's involvement then? Does Nick sit there? Ask yourself this question here. Guys, please hit the like button. Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Ask yourself this. So here, let me go back to this direct quote. So Nick Sirianni, do you guys believe that Nick has say over this offense? Or how about this, the direction of the offense? Do you think he has, philosophical control over what and how their approach is going to be? Do you believe that? I do. They're going to win a certain way. They're 19-1, and they're going to stay to that formula until proven otherwise, right? That's Nick. Do we all agree on that? That's Nick. Okay. Well, then here's what AJ's saying. And when AJ says this is a little wild when he's saying it. So if we put this shit in context here, it took too long for our offense to adjust. So is Nick just sitting there, allowing the first half to tick off and not making in-game adjustments? Tell you somebody who does in-game adjustments, and actually he does it per series, is Vic. Vic makes adjustments. That's why his defenses are keeping you in ball games and winning ball games. Let me say this. I got more confidence that Vic Fangio will end up around the top 10 than I have that offense ending up around the top 10 in total offense. I don't know what that thing looks like right now. And all your talent's on that side of the ball. Well, all your money is for sure. This guy, Kevin Petula, so where's Nick in game? Hey, we got to do something different. That has to come from upstairs. That has to come from upstairs. That's why they don't adjust. Am I wrong? Right? Right now, you're 18th. Okay? No. Well, right now, you're 18th. That has to come from upstairs. Here. It doesn't come from upstairs. Everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered passing game. Maybe you don't know that. It doesn't come from upstairs. And he says, everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered passing offense. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe you don't know how to formulate a fucking sentence. I mean, ask yourself what this guy just said. It doesn't come from upstairs, but everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered offense. Guy, are you 7? Seals, I believe Nick does have the say, but I believe that he's not willing to make a game change because he has no feel for the flow of the game. Inexperienced OC hands-off head coach makes you late. That's right. Come on, Seals. For years you said how many coordinators we are going to blame. Why are you blaming the OC now? Well, here's the key. Shane Steichen got a job. Hurts went to the Super Bowl. Brian Johnson lit the offense in 2023 on fire. 2024, hired a coordinator, got a job, won the Super Bowl. Right now in 2025, you're 24th in offense. I don't know. And the star players are complaining. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Hurts is not willing to change. That's the holdup. Hurts is not willing to change. Because you know what his attitude is? His attitude is we're 19-1, and he's bought into the corporate. I would too. I've been to 2 Super Bowl. Listen, Hurts is a company man. And the company is, in the last 3 years, they've been to 2 Super Bowls and 19-1 in the last 2 years. I don't know. How do you fight that? You know, I could bring up all this bullshit that I'm bringing up. 19-1. AJ can complain all he wants. Right? Jalen Hurts MVP. He's locked in. You ain't winning an MVP averaging 100 yards passing and 30th in passing. You're not winning that. If changes are being addressed from upstairs, it's too late. Adjustments need to be made ahead of the curve. That's why it took a half. AJ's ripping somebody. Frank, right? He's ripping somebody. Who do you think AJ's ripping when he says we don't make adjustments on time? Ownership, the head coach, or the OC? Who do you think he's ripping? Who do you think he's ripping? It's a question. You know, there's no right answer. I don't know. I don't know I don't know. Who's he ripping? Is he ripping Nick? Is that on the head coach? All of the above? Okay. Jalen Hurts is a coach's son. He was raised to follow orders like Saban benched him and having to smile. He's going to do that too in the NFL. Hurts just run, and less passing for less turnovers. Well, let me ask you something there on that one there, senor. Don't you think then at the end of the day that's not trusting him? Do you believe Jalen will become more arrogant? Nope. I do not. I don't think there's arrogance in that guy. I do not. Does Jalen come off like an arrogant guy? He comes off as a confident. And by the way, I don't mind arrogance. I want my athletes to be arrogant. I don't want them to be douchebags, but I want them to be arrogant. I want them to think they're the best thing that they ever could be in their entire life. Jimmy Johnson used to have a saying, you tell a player what he is, he'll remain. You tell a player what he could be, he'll become. That's what Jimmy's mentality was all the time. Nick was on the hot seat for a reason. If we had a coach like Shanahan, we'd be dangerous because he doesn't hold his players back. Yeah, but I'll tell you what he does do, Shanahan. Shanahan coaches 58 minutes of a ball game, and then all of a sudden, those onions become raisins. And he gets a little conservative in the end of the games, and I think that's why he's lost critical football games like Super Bowls. I mean, I think great coordinators like Vic have gigantic canyon ball onions, and they've got to make tough decisions in situations, and they're held accountable for it. Dude, having cannonball balls when you're a coordinator and nothing to do with the analytic idiots upstairs like Julian Laurie, the owner's son. Well, we should run here on 3rd and 7, 25% of the time. Hey, kid, seriously. I'll use a line from The Godfather. I was making my bones when you were dating cheerleaders. Then again, that guy got shot in the end. So he got shot in the eye too, by the way. The Eagles are analytic driven. Protect the ball, play behind. Yeah, this is analytics. Hey, Bazooka Joe, this is totally like dork football. The Eagles play dork football 101. It's boring. Drew Brees said it. It's the worst offense in pro football. Then I turn around and go, well, wait a minute. They're 19-1. Vic has juggernaut balls. Very good dual threat. Mo Green, very good. Mo Green took it in the eye, though, in the end. Vince McMahon would make a great head coach with the grapefruits. Thank you he would. I love Vince McMahon, except for his stupid behavior behind the scenes. He was a brilliant marketer who couldn't control himself. Too bad. Too bad he has to be a scumbag. Great promoter, though. Let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you this. Anybody who treats women like shit, that's the only rule I have. I don't support you. I have to stand for something. Okay? And I'm standing for that. If you're a scumbag and you treat women like shit, I'm out. I don't care if you rob a fucking bank. I'll let you off the hook and give you a second opportunity. I'll give many things. But if you fucking rape people or you're bad, especially towards women, I am out on you. Got to have something you stand on, don't you? Can't just go along and go with the ride with everyone else. They fucking, it's great. Yeah, no, not me. Hey, what do you think of that guy? Think he's a scumbag? Hey, what about Vince? Hey, Vince is a hell of a marketer. He's the modern day P.T. Barnum. Okay? I could have swore I saw Sirianni reading play calling for dummies. Still, hey, can you imagine, guys? My daughter gives me a ton of shit every day on everything there is. Me supporting people that are like not cool with chicks, that won't work with her. She already gives me enough shit on the Trump stuff. Sills, don't kid yourself. AJ was taking a shot at Hurts. Okay, so you see it was Hurts. The ball is in Hurts' hands. Hurts can audible to AJ whenever he wants if he sees it. The question is, does he trust what he sees yet? I think there's something to that. I do. Kyle's a choker and conservative, especially when he gets down. Okay? Here's this asshole here. Your daughter and wife are too smart for you. Well, that's why you marry people and you put people around you that are smarter than you. So, you know what? You know, if you're making stupid mistakes, they'll tell you you're being a dumbass. Thank you very much. It's better than having a dopey-ass woman around you who just goes along with you. Been with this chick 35 years. What the fuck do you think? 40 years almost. Tell you what, there'd be nobody else I trust more. See, yeah, and by the way, we've been together like how many presidents? We've been together more than I mean, I don't know. We've been together more than what how many coaches they have in Dallas? I think me and Kim have been together 7 Dallas Cowboy coaches. I feel pretty good. I'm kind of like we're like the Steelers a little bit. Yeah, that went over everybody's head. I'm sure it did. What loyalty? No one is going to knock you for caring about. And no, it's not. It's not. Hey, wait a minute, Sean. Thanking me for not liking people who sexually abuse women is like thanking me for not robbing a bank. So, you know what I mean? Hey, thanks, Sills, for not robbing a bank. Yeah, it's not really a backslapper, I don't think. But maybe the most common things today are the hardest things to do because being common sometimes is not as easy as people think. You know what I mean? So here, let me go to another one here. So Jalen Hurts. Was AJ talking to Hurts? Thank you, Sue. Appreciate it. Folks, okay, which is still says, yes, of course, got to have that, man, without it. Okay, so here, let's go to Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith's injury. How much of an impact in this game on Sunday is his injury? Thanks for hating on the Eagles. It makes your show better. Hey, Philly. You know what to me it sounds like? You mean thank you for sounding like a Philadelphian? It makes the show better? Is that what you're saying? Because all I've heard from everybody in Philly is what the hell's wrong with the offense? I mean, Philly, didn't you mean that? Hey, Sills, thanks for hating on the Eagles. It makes you sound more like a Philadelphian. Is that possibly it? Hey, Special, is that what you mean? I sound like you? You guys have to complain. By the way, my grandmother trying to tell you, or my aunt tries to tell you, my aunt tries to tell you that we got a ton of family in Philly. My aunt will tell you we got a ton of family down there in Philadelphia. Sills, we like to talk shit. It makes it fun. There you go. That's my take. Sills, Jalen will be 12-2 in September since 2022. And the NFL is fucking amazing. These winning records that the Eagles have, it's insane. It's insane. Okay? I like Dan now and agree with him. The Eagles suck. Whoever is hey, you listen to me. That's my grandpa's take. It wasn't who was right, who had the it wasn't anybody who was right. Whoever hollered the loudest. You should hear my wife what she says to him when we're in an argument. Hey, stop fucking arguing with me. You're not changing my mind. I'm like, I'm not trying to change your mind. Yes, you are. Just shut the hell up. You damn dumb bastard. Yeah. Who's the biggest son of a bitch you know? You. All right. Oh, man. It's wonderful to live here. It really is. Between her and my kid, it's like, you know what? Really, I'm the swabby. Nolan Smith had no impact the first 3 weeks. Not much of an impact this week or moving forward. Wow. And you were going to pay that guy $25 million? Senor, this guy had no impact, and you were talking about paying him $25 million at the end of the year? Holy shit. So guys who had no impact on the team. And the other guy who was supposed to make $15 million a year in Reed Blankenship. Hey, by the way, that Reed Blankenship contract blew up. Now I know why. Because the Eagles informed him, we won't be addressing your contract until next year. And that's why he got a new agent. It is clear and simple now. Reed Blankenship fired his agent because he couldn't get a deal done with the Eagles. And the Eagles told him, we're not addressing your deal until next March when free agency comes. Holy shit. That guy got put in his place quickly. Quickly. And now with the play of Jordan Davis now maybe gets Reed's money. Right? Maybe that money went, well, who the guy? Wait. Nolan Smith, Reed Blankenship, or Jordan Davis? Who are you paying this offseason? Right now, Jordan. Now, that could change. As a matter of fact, I'm moving on from Reed. Remember I told you that? He's replaceable. Reed Blankenship is replaceable. I say this is Reed Blankenship's final season as an Eagle. He'll be in the, what was that? That TJ Edwards deal? He'll be like that. He'll be moving on. They're going to move on from him, and they're probably going to go safety in the draft somewhere. They'll get a safety in next year's draft. They got 12 picks. And they'll put another kid back there, or they'll sign a free agent, experienced veteran. They'll put him back there with Kuba. Brown will be the rotating guy, and they're going to go there, and they're going to dummy it or cheap it down money-wise. Let's see. Balin. Okay. Nolan is a big loss. I think he's a big loss too. Oh, that's right, because they traded some of those, that's right, to the Jags for what's his name? Fred Johnson. Absolutely. Slager, Hurts is not above criticism. No, I think everybody's, listen. Here, I'll give you a criticism of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge just hit his 51st home run, right? Aaron Judge with the Yankees now is the only player in Yankee history to put 50 home runs seasons back to back. The only other guy is Babe Ruth. All right? He hasn't won a World Series. My opinion, well, when you're a New York Yankee, not having a World Series next to your name, I'm sorry, you're Dave Winfield. You're somebody like that. Great player. But if you don't win a World Series, you're not going to be held in Yankee lore like the other guys like Jeter and all them guys. You got to win a World Series, man. He's the Dan Marino of Major League Baseball when it comes to Yankee baseball. Got to win one. So, Judge is a great player. I think Cal Raleigh is the American League MVP. And unfortunately, I saw that Schwarber last night had a super year. Ohtani's winning that thing. Shohei Ohtani. He's winning it. And Dodger bullpen's killing him, though. So maybe, I don't know. That race, those two races are going to come down to the very end here, these last couple games, I think, for the MVPs in both leagues. Schwarber's right there, though, man. He really is. He's right there. Man, look at Ohtani's numbers, too, man. He strikes out almost 200 times. Incredible. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button. Yeah, so let me go here with this Nolan Smith injury. I said this morning. Here's this game right now as I see it, heading into Friday. Lane Johnson is not healthy. He's not healthy. you could make the argument that Tyler Steen has been the second best offensive lineman on the Eagles. I don't think Cam Jurgens looks very good. Go back and look at the film. He's getting worked. Arm overs, quick moves, power rushes. Against the run, they're stuffing him. He's not playing well. Now, I don't know if it's that back of his, but he's not looking very good. Landon is just injured. He looks a shell of himself. That's not the best O-line in football. That is not. That is not the best offensive line. And they don't look very good. And here's the thing you got to go into this Buck game thinking. Well, I get the Bucs. They've lost 3 dudes in their O-line. I get why they're not looking consistent and they're struggling against lesser teams a little. Well, what's your excuse? You got all your players. You got all your players except one. Mekhi Becton. What's your excuse? Why are you not playing well? I mean, why are you struggling? Every game is coming down to the opposing team having an opportunity to win games. Look, guys, Lane's been injured now, Sean. Last 2 weeks, he didn't play last week, the majority of that Rams game. And he's heading into this one banged up too. Right? Okay. So that O-line is not playing well, and it's affecting Barkley. And it's affecting Hurts. Hurts is the only reason you're 3-0. It's true. AJ's not getting the football. By the way, getting AJ the football in the second half of a game that you had to throw the ball, you did that out of necessity. That wasn't a game. Guys, do you get that wasn't a game plan? That was out of necessity that you threw the ball. That was an adjustment. So it wasn't part of the game plan. Throwing the ball wasn't part of the game plan. What? And Reyes throws those stats up, and you would think that they would have more confidence in throwing the ball in the first half. Steve's right. They did that out of desperation. They didn't do that out of a game plan. Do you understand? They didn't have that mentally. This is why they're not changing. That was not a game plan in the second half. That was out of desperation. Desperation is not a strategy. That was desperation, not part of build. So let me get this right. The Eagles spent all week. Remember how Nick says it's a collaborated effort? They spent all last week building the game plan together and not having really a fundamental passing approach in a game against the Rams where the Rams are not very good in the secondary, and they have people like Emmanuel Forbes back there. Well, they got blown up in the first half. As Steve said, it's desperation. That's not a strategy. Get this. How many people believe in here that was an adjustment? An adjustment? An adjustment from what? Not having it involved in the game plan in the first half? That's what that guy's telling you. Let me live. 6 IQ spike is telling you it was an adjustment. How can it be an adjustment when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? How can they be an adjustment and not part of your first half game plan? That's an adjustment? And you don't have them part of the game plan? Spike's telling you everything that A.J.'s telling you. A.J. was an adjustment. Okay? An adjustment and not part of the actual game plan. And what? So when you don't have A.J. Brown part of your game plan in the first half, and to go to Spike's comment here, the adjustment was we had to throw the ball. Well, what happened in the first half? That's exactly right. Spike just indicted his OC because he didn't have him part of the game plan in the first half. And I happen to agree with shit Spike, whatever it is. I think they thought they were going to run the ball down their throat like last year. That's right. That running game is just not where it needs to be, Jim. Think about this, Pat. So according to some people in here, they think that that was an adjustment. An adjustment from what? Not having Devontae and AJ part of the game plan in the first half? So you're not involving your passing game? You don't trust Hurts. That's where I think Hurts and AJ are on the same page with this going, what are you doing? And then when AJ turns around and says they're not adjusting quick enough. You know why they're not adjusting quick enough? They're trying to ram home a game plan because their arrogance believes that that game plan is 19-1 instead of Jalen Hurts being 19-1. Folks, they think they're that record. And they're getting in their own way of their great players. The Eagles are 3-0 because of everybody on that football team and on that roster right now. You got coaches that are getting in the way. They're winning in spite of. Get this. You've got the defending Super Bowl champions telling a head coach we're not adjusting quick enough. The training wheels continues. Like I tell you guys, my kid plays rugby for the San Diego Surfers. Okay? She's gotten the best coaching in the last 2 years that she got in 4 years in college. My kid is 27 times better than she was, and she was great at college. 3-year captain, all that I told you. But being around great coaches, putting you in positions to win. And then there was a situation this year where they didn't have quite the coach. The year before, we had this guy who was just like nationally world-renowned coach. Holy cow, and you're like this. My wife was taking notes going, everything this guy does, I'm doing. This last year, we were going like, wow. It was like falling off a cliff. He happens in the NFL. Look what they did to Jalen this year. Last year, he had a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator who got a job with the Saints and Kellen Moore, right? Then you gave him Nick Sirianni's buddy. And now you have players like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts going, we don't adjust quick enough. Here's another problem. Take a look at that shot clock. Every time the play comes in, Jalen Hurts is at the line of scrimmage with 6 seconds left. He has no chance for audibles. Why is that? Because the coach doesn't have an in-game feel for situational play calling. How would he? He's never called a play. You really think that a guy was sitting at the dinner table and saw all of his buddies putting a game plan together, and then when you get the main headset to call a play and call plays in game, why do you think Vic is where he is now, Fangio, and that defense is so good? Vic's 40 years in the NFL as a defensive coordinator. There's nothing he hasn't seen. That guy could teach classes at Harvard. It's almost like NASA stuff on how he sees the game. He's not analytically driven. He's situationally driven. There's a difference. We should run this play because it says on paper and in the computer, 25% of the time on 3rd and 7, on this side of the ball, plus 50, we have to run this play. Fuck that. Give me a feel for the game. Where are we, man? Are we running them over? Keep running them over. Hate coaches who do that. They outthink themselves. And there's so many coaches that are so good too. There's a guy that I was around for a while when my kid was in high school. This guy did everything right, got into a game, he shit the bed. I'm like, this guy's terrible, man, in game. I used to just laugh. I mean, and he was one of those guys too, every time you played against a big opponent, oh my God. And you're like, dude, you should be praying to play those teams, not being afraid to play those teams. The only way you're going to find out how good you are is you play great people, not tin cans. Hey, let me line up 25 tomato cans, and then I go out and I play somebody good and I get my face kicked in. Well, shit. They're setups. I don't want to play setups. I want to know how good I am or not.